Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to Rite-Way Detailing's YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another awesome episode. If you guys like what you see throughout this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the notifications bell. That way you know when we're going to post another video. So we got a pretty cool project out front. I'm going to go ahead and open up the garage and we're going to go take a look at it. This thing's definitely going to be satisfying. The engine bay is a little dirty, but it's a car that is really deserving of our help. You don't have to have a brand new performance car or anything like that to get a Ceramic Pro package put on. You can have something like what we're going to do today, and I'm sure you already see by the title. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. Okay, so this is going to be the project for the weekend. This thing is definitely going to be really satisfying. All the carbon fiber is pretty scratched up. I'm sure the paint is, yeah, it's pretty swirled. It is hard to tell on camera sometimes with silvers, but the under hood is pretty dirty. So we're going to get all this all dialed in and cleaned up for the guy. I actually purchased it this way. Only thing he did differently was doing the cold air intake. It's actually been done when he bought it. I think it was about 4 years ago. So this car, as you can tell, it's got an upper lower pulley, some other little things. I think it's got a different clutch because I pulled it around the block and it is pretty stiff. So guy bought it this way though. Like I said, only thing he did was that and a couple little cosmetic things, and then put the R888Rs all the way around front and back, which is different. But this thing's definitely in need of some pretty serious help. This engine bay is really filthy. I mean, it's very nice, but it is pretty filthy. These wheels, I believe we are going to be painting the calipers pretty soon here. He's going to do that on his next appointment. But we're going to do a full decon on this thing, get it all cleaned up, do a one-step paint correction. Actually a two-stage, I believe is what this one was sold on, was doing a two-step correction. And then we're going to do a Ceramic Pro Gold exterior package. So we're going to do 4 layers of Ceramic Pro 9H on all the paint and trim, 1 layer Ceramic Pro top coat on all the paint and trim. We'll take these wheels off, ceramic coat them in our wheel and caliper coating, do all the glass, 2 layers of Ceramic Pro glass. We're going to get this interior all cleaned up. Very nice car. Like I said, it is a 6-speed. It's got a short throw shifter from NGW in there. So we're going to get all this leather, everything looking really good. So just in need of some love. And like I said, most people think you have to have a brand new car to get it all ceramic coated and everything. My car is a 2012. The Camaro over there is a 14. The Hellcat, yes, it's newer, it's a 19, but they were all used vehicles. Mine was destroyed, and we brought it back to life. So we're going to do that on this ZL1 Camaro. So if you got, you know, a 5th gen ZL1 or 5th gen anything Camaro, I mean, it doesn't matter. We can definitely bring this thing back to like new condition. All the trim in here, and then the carbon fiber spoiler on the back does need some help. We're going to see if we can fix that just with some paint correction, but I'm thinking it's probably going to need to be wrapped. We have some Vivid 4D carbon high gloss vinyl that we can do on this thing, which will really make it pop and not have this clear coat issue. Because even though I've spent a lot of money on carbon as well, same thing, this guy spent some decent money on this. The clear coat that a lot of these manufacturers use really isn't that good. It doesn't hold up very long. Even with coating, sometimes it just all depends on how they did it, what they did, how the prep was. Sometimes it just doesn't work. It does have a Corsa on there as well. Can't really tell because those tips are so dirty. So let's go ahead and get right into decontaminating it, getting it all super deep cleaned and back to new, and then we'll start doing some paint correction. We'll get some paint match lights on here and take a look at how swirled up this thing is and begin the process of bringing her back to life. Okay, first things first, I got the filter all protected, little bag over that, tied it off. We got some Simple Green. We're going to go ahead and spray this all down. You know, this will not cause any issues. Done this a million times. This thing just really needs some help. Normally I have a pressurized sprayer, but it's starting to act up, so we're going to do all this. And the other thing is, before we ever start the car up, I always perfectly dry everything off in here. You know, this stuff right here is not going to hurt anything, especially with, it's different if you're using your whole, you know, water hose and stuff, but with a pressure washer you got a lot of high pressure, low volume, just cleaning everything. So, but this thing really needs it. So we're probably going to foam this thing up too and do a little bit of scrubbing, but just to break down some of the surface dirt and everything, you just want to spray all this Simple Green in here. So super satisfying to watch all that junk come off the valve covers. Brake fluid reservoir, excuse me, tongue twister there. So really foaming it up is going to get in everywhere. I just wanted to get the main really filthy areas cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the rest of this all down. Get some of the just dirt and grime. We're probably going to be actually repainting these inner fender wells because they are pretty tattered. So this is one of the processes of our decon wash. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this because it is a little warm, and I'm going to top this back off and continue the process. Alright, so we got the car foamed up. It is a little warm, so some of the soap is falling off. This thing definitely doesn't have any protection. But so basically this is what we do. We do a full pre-rinse on the vehicle with some all-purpose just to help break down the dirt and waxes and things like that. And then we pre-rinse, like I said, and then we go ahead and foam her up, and then we do this wash. So we will wash, clean the wheels all up, and then we'll foam it back up and then clay it to strip all the contaminants off of the paint, glass, you know, carbon fiber, etc. So just a normal wash, and then I'm probably going to foam it back up because it is a little warm. Foam it back up and show you guys how we clean the wheels. So we'll dip our mitt, and I don't go crazy with all the 2-bucket stuff. As I mentioned in other videos, that pre-rinse gets all of the dirt and grime that you would rub into the paint off. I would recommend, you know, if the vehicle's extremely dirty, it's a different case in the paint, but it's perfectly okay what we're doing because we're going to start doing paint correction anyway. So we're going to let that foam kind of dwell inside the engine bay while we do the clay barring and stuff, just so it eats up all the junk, and then we'll rinse all that out, and she should be good to go. So we'll put some dressings on some of the plastic, some coatings on the carbon because I think it's hydro dipped, and get it all dialed in. So let's go ahead and continue washing this, and then we'll get these wheels cleaned up and then start showing you us clay barring, and then we'll get it inside and start doing the correction. Okay, so got the wheels all foamed up. Got our wheel brushes in here, so little wheel woolies. So we'll stick this in here. Obviously when we take the wheel off, there's still always going to be some kind of dirt or something on the wheel, so we'll clean it all off and prep it to do the coating. This is just to get, you know, 90% of all the grime and everything off. So we'll take our little wheel detailing brush here and get everything clean. So this really is the process on the wheels to get everything clean. Some wheels take a lot longer than others. These are not too bad, and then kind of brush the caliper off a little bit. So that's pretty much the process on cleaning the wheels. Get this rear one real quick, and we'll rinse it all off, foam it back up, and clay it. So I can tell there is some like asphalt and some grime and stuff I can feel in the barrel of the wheel. Very common. So we'll get that all deep cleaned out before we ceramic coat anything. I can tell these wheels haven't had anything on them for a long time. So the whole car has not had any protection or anything for a while. So this guy's really going to trip out how good his car is going to look, how easy it's going to be to clean for the weekend. Makes your life way easier. Makes it look like a show car. Saves you half the time of doing all the cleaning. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse these all off. I'm going to finish the other side. Then we'll move on to stripping all the contaminants off the paint and the glass. Okay, so we got our synthetic clay. Vehicle's all foamed up just to add a little bit of extra lubrication on the surface. We're also going to use our clay lube right here. So you can see American Detailer Garage Wipeout. Change the setting a little bit. So this is going to strip all the fallout and everything and make this paint super smooth and prolong the life of everything that we're going to put on this. So we always clay no matter what. If we're just putting some sport on, if we're doing a full package, if we're doing any kind of vinyl wrap, paint protection film, doesn't matter. Always clay. Never done anything without claying. So just go over all the surface and this will get everything dialed in. So it'll be just buttery smooth. And with this thing not having any protection on it, because it's just sheeting water like crazy, there are a lot of little things that fall out that are just kind of stuck even with pressure washing them. The little yellow dots are just really stuck in there. So this will really help kind of remove those. So all the glass, everything. So roof is really smooth because it got repainted recently, but all this stuff definitely got some contaminants on it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this process on the rest of the vehicle. I don't need to bore you with all of this. You get the idea. I just want to get all the contamination off of all these surfaces, so it will take to all the correction very well, and the coating package. So let's go ahead and finish up clean, and now you'll see it in the garage. We'll air dry it and start doing all the masking off and paint correction. Okay, if you could see there, we got our microfiber cutting pad with our Americana Global 1500 compound. So what we do, and this is included on every vehicle, a one-step is included. So this particular two-step is a little bit more, nothing too crazy though. So I'm going to come in, hopefully you can see right here. We'll just do kind of this area so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to come in and polish this all out. There's no need for tape right here because we're not going to get close to that, but this really is what makes the paint pop, cleans it, in my opinion, perfectly, and then we go ahead and do the coating package. Once all this polishing is done, we do all there's two steps of a prep wipe down, then we go ahead and ceramic coat. So this is the polishing. Let's show it now. So we do that process you just saw over the whole car, and you can see here we're going to wipe the compound off, but like I showed in the iPhone video, it is hard for it to pick up defects, but now that you look deep in the clear coat, you can see all the flake. Everything is super high gloss and clear. On this silver, that's really what's going to make a difference. See, and it's sad because there are some people that would maybe just polish the carbon fiber that you can really see the swirls on, and then just wipe this vehicle down and then put a ceramic coating package on it with a cheap user grade coating that's like 40-50 bucks. I see it all the time. It happens all the time, and it's sad even with Ceramic Pro sometimes, because we're in California. There's a big saturation of installers. Sometimes some people go to maybe Ceramic Pro or a couple other professional grade companies trainings, get their products, and then say they're doing it when all reality, like I said, they're buying a cheap user grade coating. I see it happen all the time. Just saw a fellow shop share a video of a Ceramic Pro package, and I was like, man, you know, stuff like that does not do stuff like that. We've been taking care of our packages for a long time and never had an issue. That's why we stick with Ceramic Pro. Products are so strong and makes this thing look like a show car, but it's all in how we're installing is how the results perform for years and years to come. So that's why we do things like this. We don't avoid this. Even though this paint technically hides scratches and stuff, it's still, in my opinion, I can make it look a million times better with what we're doing here. So we're gonna go ahead and continue that process on the rest of the car, and then I will show also we're doing a jeweling step polish. So that's really going to help that carbon fiber and make this silver pop. So if that makes sense, like I said, we don't really get into every last little thing and show that for you know, 20 minutes just polishing, because I could. We try to kind of cut down because I do make some long videos sometimes, so that's why I don't show the correction fully on all the cars. I'm not going to go panel by panel and show that. If we do a dedicated correction video, I will most definitely show that, and if you guys have questions about that or want to see that, I can definitely do it, because there are some techniques we use and stuff that I don't always show on camera, but you get the idea of how the polishing works right here. So what we do, once that's polished, we'll wipe it down and then move on. So let's go ahead and move on, do the rest of the vehicle, and then I'll show that jeweling polish step and show how it really makes this silver paint job pop. And then we will be polishing the glass as well, get this thing all prepped, ready to go, and then real exciting part is going to be laying down the ceramic coating. You'll definitely be able to tell when it goes down on that carbon fiber, it going down, because like I said, it shows a lot of really nice things in the carbon fiber. It really needs a lot more work. We're going to polish it more and more, and then work on this spoiler as well. It's got some clear coat damage, so we're going to see if we can kind of bring it back, but it is pretty thin. We're going to probably end up wrapping it. So let's go ahead and get to the jeweling polish. Okay, so we got the ZL1 all finished up being corrected. You can see here how beautiful that silver looks, the carbon fiber. So we did, you could see a huge difference from when I was showing before. We did the two-step correction, so the compounding you saw, and then we also did the jeweling polish. I don't think I got any footage of that, but the applicator pad is all full of 9H, so I'm going to go ahead and show. It's going to show up better on this carbon fiber, but this is what it looks like when your vehicle gets coated. So keep in mind, under these high lightings, you're going to see maybe some things in the carbon fiber just from over the years of it being kind of tattered. It is looking way better, but if you see there's like a little like mark right there, that's just, you know, inside of the clear coat of the carbon fiber. But basically we apply the coating evenly across all these surfaces. So we go panel by panel. So we draw it out. I just wanted to show you because it shows up way better on the carbon fiber. So we draw out a panel square, come in and spread it all out nice and evenly. So this 9H is really going to seal up all of the paint itself, because there are peaks and valleys in the clear coat on a microscopic level. It's a big process to kind of understand what coatings, or true professional grade coatings like this Ceramic Pro 9H, what it really does on a chemical bonding level, or down, you know, into like what they call a nano superstructure. It builds a glass-like structure over top of whatever surface you put it on. So that's why it really kind of seals it up and really gives it a super high gloss. This 9H is really the strength. And then once we do that Ceramic Pro top coat, that's what gives it that extreme high gloss and super hydrophobic effect. The 9H is to build the layers of a true 9H tested and certified hardness coating. So there are some coatings out there that claim 9H. Ceramic Pro, we actually have, I think it's SGS, or there's a certification, a government certification company that tests products like this, and it has been certified to have a true hardness above 9H. So putting this on here is just that really nice security of having that protection. So now that we've got it all corrected, and now that we've prepped it, we did our Americana Global Stripper, our cleaner, now we're doing the 9H, this thing is just going to start to pop really nicely. So we give it about 30 seconds after applying to flash, and then we will level the coating off with those two 600 GSM towels, and that's what will give us that really beautiful finish. So this coating gets applied, the clear coat sucks up the coating that covalently bonds, and whatever's left that didn't gets leveled off, and you get that really beautiful shine, or else you'd have just some kind of streak looking you know, finish. So just making sure we get every little inch applied. You don't want to miss spot. So I think we're good. So I'm going to come in with our towels. Just want to double check. Okay, so we're going to come in with our 600 GSM towels right here. I'm just going to hold one. Normally I'll have two in my hands and go over, but I'll just show you one. So it'll come up here. Now the 9H is pretty tacky, so it takes some real strength to hold on to this towel, because it becomes very tacky once you put it on. The top coat levels off beautifully. It's very easy to level. Some paint jobs it can be a pain. Like gloss black Porsches have always been a pain in the you know what when we've done them, but this car is pretty easy, especially when it comes down to the top coat. But you can see as you start to level off, you'll have that perfect finish underneath. So you really hold on to the towel, it starts to grab really heavily. So you can see some of the streaks in there, so we'll level this off. So yeah, that is the finish once you put the 9H on. Absolutely dripping wet, and it's only going to get better as the layers go on and we start to do top coat. So what you saw right there, I'm going to continue that on the rest of the car, and then we got several layers to do, and then probably tonight, about 8 hours later, we will put the Ceramic Pro top coat on. We'll get the glass all coated while the 9H cures. Normally I'll be doing the glass, so I will show that. And then tomorrow we will put the car up on quick jacks, take the wheels off, deep clean the inner fender wells, and then ceramic coat them and coat the wheels and the calipers. Now there is some damage on the caliper clear coat, so we may not be doing anything. We may just wait until he wants to get them repainted and then get all the plastic dialed in. The plastic itself we are changing up and doing Ceramic Pro plastic because it is pretty tattered, so we'll probably do a couple layers of Ceramic Pro plastic on the side skirts, the front splitter, and the rear diffuser. If you can see here, the rear diffuser is a little faded, so we're going to test a couple areas with Ceramic Pro plastic. If they don't come out, we will change it up to solution finish trim dye, because this plastic is pretty faded, so we want to make sure that it comes back to life. So after that solution finish soaks in, maybe a couple months later, we'll coat it. If not, you know, it will be perfectly fine with that solution finish. But if we can get away with just doing the ceramic coating, then we're going to do that. And I think we'll just get away with doing the ceramic coating. It should bring it back. But if there's something that is really bad, we will dye it with solution finish. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing the 9H on the car, and then I'll tune back in with you guys when we start to do the glass, the top coat, and the wheels. Okay, so we got the wheels off. Now I did not get a video of doing the Ceramic Pro top coat. We did it later at night. I actually had to leave and go take care of a few things for some family members. And then when I came back later at night, once the glass and the 9H, all those layers were all done, I had to go do some things, take care of them, and then come back late at night and do the Ceramic Pro top coat. But you could literally see how beautiful that top coat really seals up all the 9H and just makes this thing pop. It literally looks like a brand new car. And this is an 8-year-old car. So just imagine, it does not matter your vehicle. My CTS-V is a 2012. We brought that thing back to life. It looks sick. I mean, we've since wrapped it, but before we did do this same treatment, we did a full 2-stage or 3-stage, I believe, correction on mine, and did a gold package and everything. It looked beautiful. So the top coat is all done. You can see it looks like wet paint. Just love the way these things look. So it doesn't matter. You can see the results on this older car, how it looks like brand new again. So the only thing we have left is we got to clean up those exhaust tips. We got to coat the plastic with our Ceramic Pro plastic coating. We did cover the car in plastic and spray these inner fender wells with some gloss black trim paint just to bring them back, because they were literally like a light gray look like this. It was even worse than that. So we coated all the glass. Now what you're seeing right there, you had like a little radar detector up in this area, so we still have to clean the interior, vacuum it all, wipe it all down, clean the inside glass. But man, she's really, really, really beautiful now. He's gonna be very happy. I already sent him a video of this kind of shot right here of everything, and he was already extremely impressed. So moving along, we're almost done. We're getting the wheels all cleaned up. They definitely were a little bit of a fight to get them off the hub surface, the mounting area. I believe whoever had this car before must have been, you know, in the snow or salt or something like that, because that corrosion really happens in those areas, and it is very difficult to get the wheel off. So you gotta give it a smack on the top and bottom of the tire, and it will bust free. So, so let's go ahead and get this wheel and caliper coating on. I got it in my hands right here, just waiting for those wheels to get all cleaned up. We'll show you guys on these. We are not going to level the coating. So what we'll do is we'll actually apply it and leave it, because any silver type wheel like this is kind of like an OEM finish. I prefer to do that. On gloss black and satins and stuff, it's a whole nother story. You absolutely have to level, and we have to change the products up. But on these, I do like to get a nice thick coat of wheel and caliper on there. And this side, I believe, must have been in the sun for a long time, because I didn't really pay any attention to the other side. But this side definitely has some clear coat damage, but the other side is pretty much flawless. It's just dirty, so we're going to clean those up and coat this side. The other side needs to be refinished for sure, so we're going to clean those calipers up as best as they can and put a coating on this side. The other side, no sense of putting a coating. We'll just put a ceramic spray sealant on it just to, you know, give it a little bit higher gloss finish for now. But definitely there's no sense in coating that because it's completely damaged. So let's take a look at the interior. I do need to vacuum this all and clean it all out, dial in these door jambs with our Ceramic Pro Sport, but this thing too needs a little love, so we're going to vacuum her all out, take some of that personal stuff out, clean everything, wipe it all down with a ceramic sealant, dial in all the vents, the cup holders, the door panels, everything, get all the glass all clean on the inside like I said, and she'll be pretty much good to go. So when this thing gets outside, it's really, really, really going to pop. I mean, just look at that, dripping wet paint. So let's go ahead and show doing the wheel coating, and we'll move on from there. We'll manage. So we got the coating all sponged in. Take a look at this wheel. So try to get you, yep. Okay, so it's going on now. Nice and thick, you can see there. It's gonna be a little harder to pick up because it is a darker wheel, but so we literally get in here. I am gonna take a Q-tip and we'll dial that all in. So we literally just rub this all in with our applicator pad, nice and even. Put my foot right here to hold it because I got the camera in one hand. So, but man, once you put this Ceramic Pro wheel and caliper coating on, it really makes these wheels kind of bring back that nice new finish. Really gives them a clean look and very easy to take care of from now on. Let me scoot this over just a hair. But I really recommend this, especially if you just have wheels and you just bought them. Like we have some Fordstar D5 bead locks for the Hellcat. We're gonna go get the tires mounted, and then we'll take them off and actually coat them. And on those we'll probably spray like the bead lock. Everything else is pretty easy to coat. We will be spraying the bead lock, but once you put this wheel and caliper coating on, this is really a permanent coating. It doesn't ever need to be reapplied, or there's no, like, you know, 5-year warranty or anything. It is a permanent coating. So as you see, just goes on there real nice on these. It almost self-levels in some cases, like on these. It will soak in nicely. On gloss black and stuff, it's a different story. Like I was mentioning earlier, you have to really level them out, and sometimes you got to use a different product, like our 9H and top coat I use on satin black and gloss black wheels. But there you can see, so we're gonna let that cure out. By the time I get to all these wheels with this wheel and caliper, I'll have plenty of time to flash where I can move the wheel around and then do the barrel, and then they'll be good to go on to the car. So I'm going to continue that on these wheels, and I'll show you doing the barrel. Let's take a look at the engine bay. You saw how filthy dirty this thing was. Wiped all of the hydro dip plastic downs with a nice little coating. Everything, did a little bit of trim dressing on some of the lines, and then plastic cowl up there because it was so faded. It's going to need to be treated. If not, it needs to be taken off and repainted because the coating that we did do on the plastics, it's soaked up too fast. So that tells me it's kind of damaged. So it just needs to have actual dressing put on it a lot. There is some points where some of that dressing, the coating is just not going to help with some plastics when they're that bad. So, but we did get the tips all polished out. Beautiful. Of course, the tips are looking really clean. They were just really tattered just from all that, you know, nasty black liquid coming out of there. All the condensation over time just really built up in there. So we got all that cleaned up. The interior is all clean, looking beautiful. MGW shifter. So we wiped everything down with a SiO2 spray sealant. Same thing in the back. There was a lot of dust built up on all the plastics. The rear package tray, cleaned up all the inner fender wells because there was a lot of like wax and stuff built up in every little crack and crevice, just I'm sure over the years of all that stuff being done. So what I'm going to do is get a little start on this thing, and then we're going to pull it out and get a little look out in the sunlight. It is a little shaded where we're at, but we'll try to get a little bit better look at this thing. Alright, so the ZL1 is all finished up. With the gold package, the correction, everything was looking really good. We did put dressing on the trim just because it was all damaged, but you can see in a bright sunlight, that is the results we produce. If you want to get a gold package put on your vehicle, follow us on all of our social media. You can definitely reach out through there. We always put our phone number on there if you're in California, and we have had people actually transport their vehicles down here as well, but this thing is definitely like a brand new car again. It was pretty tattered. The trim definitely needs some help still, so it's going to have to continue to be dressed. That was the only issue with this car, it being, you know, 8-9 years old now, but it still is a really bad you-know-what machine. So I think he's going to be super happy. Customers coming right now to come and pick it up. We're just going to wipe the wheels off real quick after we backed it out. A little bit of brake dust got on there. Just from them sitting after being washed, you always get kind of that rust effect on them, but front end looking super mean. You can see there, engine bay. Let's take a look at it outside in the sun, just real quick. And like I mentioned, it does have upper pulley, lower pulley, some stuff from the Lingenfelter, the K&N carbon intake package. I think he's going to be putting this thing on E85, so if we get some of his social media stuff, we'll definitely put that up later. But you can see real clean. You saw how filthy it was earlier. That's just what we're about, all these little details. really need to be addressed. When you have such a nice car like this, we want to make sure this thing is like a show quality. That way you can just wipe her down or wash her up, take her to the Cars and Coffee, and enjoy your ride for years and years to come. So if you guys enjoyed the content throughout this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, that way you know when we post a new video. We have some super sick stuff coming for the Hellcat. We have some D5 bead locks and Mickey Thompson tires coming, so definitely stay tuned for when we get those things installed. We're going to do some tests with the Draggy to see what she's running. We have some kind of baseline data on the stock tires, then the R888s, and then now we have the Nittos, and then of course the other drag pack setup that's going to be coming. So thank you guys very much for tuning into this video. I have a ton of videos coming your way. We're trying to do uploads every week. I think last week we missed uploading. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties, but we will have a couple uploads actually, so we'll probably do 2 for this coming week. So with that, we'll see you on the next one.